All right. What up, what up, what up? This is DB Talking Now, DB Talking Birds, DB Talking Philadelphia Eagles. So yesterday, the Philadelphia Eagles played the Las Vegas Raiders in Las Vegas and started off hot. Started off really hot. I mean, came out, first offensive drive. The Philadelphia Eagles and Nick Sirianni did something that they haven't done all season long. And Jalen Hurts lined up behind center, and pretty much Miles Sanders got the ball, got 5 carries within the first drive. Got injured on the second offensive drive for the Philadelphia Eagles, and all went to shit. However, on that first drive, the Philadelphia Eagles drove down the field and went up 7-0, and all looked really, really good. Jalen Hurts looked good. Passing out of that behind the center offense. But then as soon as Miles Sanders went down on the second offensive drive for the Philadelphia Eagles, all went to shit. And it was a complete debacle. It was a complete debacle yesterday. It was absolute complete debacle. And when it comes to Nick Sirianni doing an onside kick coming out of the to start the second half. Obviously, the Las Vegas Raiders recovered and then immediately went up 24-7, and it was over from then. It was over from there. It was over from there. You know what? Here's the thing: is like the Eagles went into the half 17-7. But they still had some fight. Even after the Miles Sanders injury, they still had some fight. And you want to know why they still had some fight? Because they still felt like they were in it, even after Miles Sanders going down. The Eagles have some quality, serviceable backups in Kenny Gainwell and Boston Scott. Boston Scott came in and did look good. He looked good yesterday. And God damn it, I've been saying that all season long. Find a package for Boston Scott. Toxic Falcons, welcome to the chat, my man. But the Eagles had no answer. The Eagles had no answer for Derek Carr yesterday. They had no answer for this Las Vegas Raiders offense yesterday. Derek Carr threw for 31 for 34, 91% completion percentage without Darren Waller. Are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? I want to jump back to that first offensive drive real quick. Yeah, Jalen Hurts did look good, but he still missed some throws. Jalen Hurts. So the Eagles fans got what they wanted. Nick Sirianni came out running the ball. He came out. We put Jalen Hurts behind center. Jalen Hurts looked good on that drive when he needed to. But he still missed some routine throws that you're supposed to make routinely. And that's why I say this guy is not the franchise quarterback, because a franchise quarterback, a consistency is a foundation of the franchise quarterback's game. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. Toxic Falcon says, Eagles play bad in the first half, second half, amazing. Why is that? Why? It's not the second half. It's the fourth quarter. It's not the second half. It's the fourth quarter, and I'll tell you why that is. It's because opposing teams build up leads, and then the Eagles have and then they take their foot off the gas, and the Eagles have a chance. It has nothing to do with the Eagles. Actually, it's not the Eagles playing amazing. It's the opposing defenses playing way far back because they're saying, hey, we don't want to give the deep ball up. And then it's also opposing offenses taking their foot off the gas because they don't need to. They don't need to score. They don't need to score anymore. Like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers did it. The Kansas City Chiefs did it. The Las Vegas Raiders did it yesterday. Like there's no need. There's no need to keep scoring. Yesterday, like, don't let the stats fool you. Don't let this final scoreboard fool you. Don't let it, like yesterday's game was a 40-3 game or 40-7 game. It really was. Mike Nixon says, what's up, DB? Happy Monday, bro. Sucks to hear about Miles Sanders, but I have a question. Do you think that Nick Sirianni is one and done as a coach? because I believe if you hire a new GM, he's got to hire his. It's a phenomenal question. And Mike Nixon, good to hear from you. Mike Nixon, obviously, guys, Giants fan, so I appreciate the love and support for Miles Sanders. Again, Miles Sanders going down, big blow, and I hate that. I hate that. I really do. And let's talk about that for a second here, because Miles Sanders had over 1,200 yards from scrimmage his rookie year, had over 1,000 yards from scrimmage his second year in the league, and then his third year in the league, he's got 42 touches in 6 games. 42 touches in 6 games. How in the world does that make sense? Do I think Nick Sirianni is a one-and-done coach? Well, that leads us to our next topic, or it leads us to bringing up a topic a little bit early. They just traded Joe Flacco to the Jets for a 6th-round pick that could turn into a 5th-round pick. And what does that mean? Are they going to go to Gardner Minshew this week? It would make sense for them to go to Gardner Minshew this week, and I'll tell you why it would make sense for them to go to Gardner Minshew this week. It would make sense because the fans are starting to come after Howie, and Howie's going to do everything that he possibly can to save his ass. He always does, and he always finds a way. And Howie Roseman hired Nick Sirianni, right? Howie Roseman hired Nick Sirianni. And so Howie Roseman is saying, well, I want this coach to look good. I want to make myself look good. So we're going to see how a different quarterback looks with Nick Sirianni. And if the other quarterback looks good with Nick Sirianni, or at least better than Jalen Hurts with Nick Sirianni, then maybe that gives us a little leeway to possibly give the head coach, the new head coach, the first-year head coach, a second year. And honestly, if they start Gardner Minshew and Gardner Minshew does a lot better, does better than Jalen Hurts, I think that garners a second year for Nick Sirianni. I really do, because we do have to put this into perspective here. This guy is a first-year head coach. He is a first-year head coach. Let's put it into perspective. I mean, let's separate the components from the formula a little bit. Like, Jalen Hurts is still throwing inaccurate. Jalen Hurts is still throwing balls in the dirt. Jalen Hurts is still overthrowing guys. Jalen Hurts is still throwing the ball a little bit late. I can tell you this. Nick Sirianni's not telling him to do that. Nick Sirianni's not telling him to fumble the ball on the goal line. Come on. Tox Falcon says, I know you actually wanted Carson Wentz to stay, so do other Eagles regret trashing Wentz? There were no Philadelphia Eagles that trashed Wentz. There were no teammates that trashed Carson Wentz. None of them. In fact, all of them supported Carson Wentz, except for that one wide receiver that leaked shit to Josina Anderson, whatever her name is. And I believe it was either Nelson Aguilar or Alshon Jeffrey. But yeah, they probably do, to be completely honest with you. And to get into the other Philadelphia Eagles on the team, we will get into that in a second, because Fletcher Cox had an interesting post-game press conference yesterday. So did Roddy McLeod. So we're definitely going to talk about that. And Dallas Goedert did too. But and so did Nick Sirianni. So we're going to talk about that in a little bit. But yeah, there were no. I mean, even Miles Sanders last year came out and was in huge support of Carson Wentz. Mike Nixon says Miles Sanders is a top 10 running back if used properly. He doesn't even need to be used properly. Like, that's the thing, is like he doesn't even need to be used properly. He just needs to be used. It's not about being used properly. He just needs to be used. He is like a Shady McCoy. I'm not going to say he is Shady McCoy, but he is like a Shady McCoy. He is so elusive. I mean, he can change direction like nobody's business. We saw what he was doing. We saw what he was doing yesterday, and he was playing phenomenal. He was playing phenomenal yesterday to start that game, and I was so happy to see him get 5 carries for 30 yards or 6 carries for 30 yards. That's 5 yards a carry, guys. Talks to Falcon says you don't want to be the Giants and Jets firing coaches after 1 or 2 years. You're right. I don't. You're right. I don't. And that's why I gotta say, this is like I am apprehensive when it comes to saying that Nick Sirianni is a one and done coach. Like I'm not ready to pull that string yet. I really am not. I think Nick Sirianni deserves to see how Gardner Minshew operates his offense. I think Nick Sirianni deserves the quarterback that he wants operating his offense. We have to remember this, guys. Like, Nick Sirianni was hired before Carson Wentz got traded. Nick Sirianni was under the impression that Carson Wentz was going to stay. Carson Wentz is reminiscent of Andrew Luck. Carson Wentz is reminiscent of quarterbacks that Nick Sirianni was familiar with. So we have to keep that in mind here. Tox Falcon says it takes progress. It does take progress. It does take progress. It definitely does. It definitely does. But like, here's the thing: is it takes progress with a coach. It takes progress with a first-year head coach. I mean, there's a lot more to develop in a coach than there is a quarterback. And we'll get into that because I will play that game. I will talk about that. I will talk about the differences when it comes to development. Like, for example, Andy Reid went 0-5 or something like that in his first year back in 1999. Granted, they had Donovan McNabb to switch to, but, and a great defense. Like, they had some defensive pieces, which is another thing that we're going to talk about because this defense has given up 32 points over the last 5 games per game. And, the Eagles haven't. This is another crazy stat that involves yesterday's game, which is this is another crazy stat that involves yesterday's game and just the history of the Philadelphia Eagles. And that is that in the 1,200 plus games that have occurred in Eagles history, in Eagles franchise history, the Eagles have only allowed 8 quarterbacks to have an 80% completion percentage or above. And they have allowed 4 this season. 4. Tom Brady, Derek Carr, Dak Prescott, Patrick Mahomes. Put that into perspective. Out of 1,200 plus games that have occurred in Eagles franchise history, only 8 quarterbacks have recorded an 80% completion percentage or above, and 4 of them have come this season under the tutelage of defensive coordinator Jonathan Gannon. Put that into perspective. Hillary Cummings, welcome to the chat. Hi, Mom. Everybody say hi to my mom. She's tired, but she made an appearance. Mike Nixon says, yeah, that's what I meant. My bad. No problem, buddy. Tox Fox, also your thoughts on how the Chiefs are playing this season. My thoughts on the Chiefs and how they're playing this season is I believe they'll turn it around. Honestly, Andy always finds a way. And I believe that Patrick will find a way. Patrick isn't having his best season. I mean, honestly, we have to keep that we have to put that in the stratosphere of thoughts, but their defense isn't playing that great, and but they'll find a way. I mean, don't count the Chiefs out. Big Play Slay, my man. Welcome to the chat, my dude. Always good to have you. Good to have you back. Talks Falcon says, is it me or are the Chiefs playing like the Seahawks after going to back Super Bowls? No. No, I wouldn't say that because, I mean, that's a good point. That's a good point, I guess. That's a good point. I mean, look, they're struggling. They are struggling a little bit. But the Seahawks had a great defense. The Chiefs don't have a great defense, and I feel like all it's gonna really take right now is just Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid to get things figured out, and they will. They will. I don't have any doubts in the Chiefs. Big Play Slay says this team is a joke. Yeah, dude, it's a complete fucking joke. It's a complete fucking joke, and it's everybody. Like everybody wants to say, is it Jalen? Is it Nick Sirianni? It's everybody. It's everybody. It's everyone. And it's Jonathan Gannon, it's Nick Sirianni, it's Jalen Hurts, it's Howie Roseman, it's Jeffrey Lurie, it's Shane Steichen. Look. Here, I'll jump. Fletcher Cox in his post-game press conference. Look, he's a leader on this team, and he pretty much insinuated that he is unhappy with this scheme, and he pretty much said publicly to the media, like, I'm not allowed to play how I want to play. That's pretty much what he said. I'm not being allowed to play how I want to play. I'm not being utilized to the best of my ability. And it's not even just Fletcher Cox, guys. It's not even just Fletcher Cox. We just paid, think about this. We just paid Josh Sweat, right? Josh Sweat is paid because he had production for being a backup, because he's a pass rusher that gets up the field. They're not using him in that way. They're using him they're using him in a way where he's being put inside a lot more, and how in the world is that going to work? Jonathan Gannon is not doing this personnel justice, and that's the crazy thing, because at the time Jonathan Gannon was the one who was revered as a great hire around the league. So and up to this point, it doesn't look like that. It does not look like that. Like this entire coaching staff looks like shit. Like I can't even. Tox Falcon says, did the screen go black for everyone else? Yeah, guys, I just got a new internet box, and it's been going strange. It's been acting strange ever since I got the new one, and it's supposed to be better. So I don't know. So if that happened, I do apologize. Mitch Kofsky, welcome to the chat, my man. Welcome to the channel. Haven't had you in here before. Please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Would love to have you in here more often, my man. Mike Nixon says, it could be worse, though. You can be my Giants. We are legit going 2-15 this year. I'm going to be straight up and honest with you. I'm from Philadelphia. I've been a Philadelphia Eagles fan for 30 years. I cannot with 100% certainty, I cannot say that I don't know if that's going to happen for us. Look, we play the winless Detroit Lions this week, and I cannot tell you whether or not we're going to win or lose that game. I really can't. And you want to know why I cannot? Because I know that the Detroit Lions have put up fight in each one of their games that they've been in. I know that head coach Dan Campbell has that team fighting harder than the Philadelphia Eagles are fighting right now. I can tell you that, So I'm not ready to say that the Eagles are going to go out and beat the Detroit Lions. I wasn't even one to say that the Eagles were going to beat the Raiders this week. Would I have wished that that they would have beaten the Raiders? Yeah, but again, in my stream, I did say, and I hated to say it, I cringed to say it, but I said it. The Raiders were going to win by 10, and the Raiders won by 11, and the Raiders won by 11. I hated it. I don't like Jalen Hurts. Look. We could ask the question: is it Jalen or is it Nick Sirianni? Is it Jalen being a product of Nick Sirianni's offense, or is Nick Sirianni coaching to the limitations of Jalen Hurts as his quarterback? We could say we could do that. We could do that. But that's gonna take us around in a circle. They're both sucking so hard. It's ridiculous. They're both sucking so hard. It's not even funny. But that's why I'm ready to see Gardner Minshew, because I want to see how a different quarterback operates in Nick Sirianni's system. That is the only way we will know anything substantial about this head coach. That is the only way. You know what I mean? And I feel like it's going there, because trading Joe Flacco, despite the fact that it was a phenomenal trade, getting a 6th-round draft pick that could turn into a 5th-round draft pick for Joe Flacco, that's a phenomenal fucking trade. I mean, I got to be honest with you. I mean, kudos to Howie Roseman. No matter how many times, no matter how much I want to like pull out his eyeballs right now, I mean, kudos to Howie Roseman for getting that deal done, for sure. Toxic Falcon says, so would you say the Cowboys will own the division this year? Yes. Yeah. I'm ready to say that the Cowboys will own the division this year. They're still going to lose in the playoffs, but they'll win the division. They will win the division. Unless the Eagles, here's the thing. Here is the only way that something fucking miraculous can happen. They start Gardner Minshew. And they start lining him up behind, and they start an offense that has a mixture of lining the quarterback up behind center, and a little bit of, and some shotgun, some normal shit. That's the only way. Jalen Hurts is regressing, guys. Jalen Hurts, forget Nick Sirianni. Like, when you're evaluating these two, forget them as a package. Forget the evaluation. Don't evaluate them as a package. Look at them as individuals. Jalen Hurts is still missing throws. Jalen Hurts is still overthrowing guys. Jalen Hurts is still fumbling the ball in the goal line. Jalen Hurts is still doing this. Jalen Hurts is still doing that. You know what I mean? He's still doing shit that a coach would never tell a quarterback to do. He's still holding the ball. He's still holding onto the ball too long. I'm sorry, but he's not honestly, you could make the case that no head coach could do well with Jalen Hurts. You could make that case. You could really, really make that case. You want to, for example, let's put Jalen Hurts on the Saints. Who do you think they're going to start? Jameis Winston or Jalen Hurts? $20 says that they still go with Jameis Winston. $20. There's no team. There's no other team in the NFL that would start this guy, that would start Jalen Hurts. No other team in the NFL. And look, I'm not saying I'm not trying to hate on Jalen Hurts, but he's making it so fucking hard not to hate on him. I wanted Jalen Hurts to succeed. I want Jalen Hurts to turn it around. I want this. I want that. I wanted it all from Jalen Hurts. I wanted him to surprise me. I bought into the hype. I really, really did. But I was wrong. And that's exactly what happens when you buy into hype. It's exactly what happens. Mike Dixon says, but anyway, it was good chatting it up with you, DB. Have a good night. I'm going to bed. I'm going to bed. I'm bed. Beat. Mike Dixon says, I'm beat. Okay, my man. Well, hey, it was great to see you, my man. Or it was great to talk to you. Chime in a little bit more, man. I miss you. Come back. One love. Big Play Slay says you have to fire Howie Roseman. And this is a whole nother topic. Big Play Slay brings up a good point. This is a whole other topic. So, Howie Roseman. Howie Roseman. There was a report that came out today, by the way, that the reason why we didn't get Brandon Staley in Philadelphia was because of Howie Roseman. And then there was a report that later came out later in the day that the reason why we didn't get Brian Daboll, offensive coordinator for the Buffalo Bills, was also because of Howie Roseman. And if I remember correctly, when we were going through the head coaching hiring process, I believe there was also a report that was put out that mentioned that Jeffrey Lurie liked Josh McDaniels more, but Howie Roseman liked Nick Sirianni. You know what would have happened if we hired Josh McDaniels? Josh McDaniels would have wanted to make his own moves. Josh McDaniels would have wanted to kind of duplicate what he did in Denver. The only difference is, and obviously that made us a little bit skeptical because when he did what he did in Denver, it didn't work out. But he was young and didn't have as much experience, but maybe it would have worked out in Philadelphia. They ended up not going with Josh McDaniels. Obviously, they ended up going with Nick Sirianni. And honestly, Jeffrey Lurie's history with picking first-time head coaches is pretty good, but this one turns out to be looking like a fucking failure until we get the opportunity to see what it looks like when they put a different type of quarterback under the tutelage of Nick Sirianni. And that's why I say that's the only thing that's fair when judging a head coach. That's something that we need to really, really think about when we're talking about the head coach. That's why I'm not ready to pull the plug on Nick Sirianni yet. It's because we haven't seen him with Gardner Minshew. We haven't seen him with any of the personnel that he's picked. We haven't seen him with a quarterback that he's picked. Doug Peterson got Carson Wentz. Doug Peterson loved Carson Wentz. You know what I mean? Chip Kelly had the choice between Nick Foles and Michael Vick. And then as soon as he got Howie Roseman out of the fucking building, he traded for Sam Bradford. So Sam Bradford ended up becoming Chip Kelly's guy. That was Chip Kelly's guy, and it absolutely failed. And then it became about accountability. And Chip Kelly didn't take accountability for any of it. And that's why he got fired. Nick Sirianni has not been given the opportunity to choose his quarterback. We all need to be reminded of that because it's an opportunity in clarity. It's a lesson in clarity. Please think about it. Think about it. Jalen Hurts isn't the guy. Jalen Hurts doesn't do things that franchise quarterbacks should routinely do. And you want to talk about 11 games. He's only got 11 games. Well, guess what? Joe Burrow doesn't have that many games to his resume. Mac Jones doesn't have that many games to his resume. And Mac Jones is outperforming Jalen Hurts. Mac Jones, by the way, was the least ranked first-round quarterback among all the first-round quarterbacks taken in the first round. So, who by the way is the only one that is performing at an elite level. Not an elite level, but above the others. Talks Falcon says there's a reason why Tua took his spot at Bama, like I said during the offseason. Yeah, inaccuracy. Jalen was absolutely horrible in that first half. Going back to Big Play Slay, what Big Play Slay said, the Eagles, it's not that I dislike Howie Roseman. Big Play Slay says you have to fire Howie Roseman. Yeah, here's the thing. It's not that like Howie Roseman is all bad. It's really not. Like there are things that he does really, really well that make him really valuable to this team. And that's why he's still here. But sometimes, you know, as we've seen with Carson Wentz and even with Zach Ertz now, sometimes the road hits an end. Sometimes the road hits a dead end. Sometimes your time at one destination just hits its ending point. And I think we're getting there. I think we're getting there with Howie Roseman. You know, same thing with Andy Reid. You know, Andy Reid needed a fresh start. You know, and look what he has done with the Chiefs since he's left Philadelphia. This entire organization needs a philosophical, systemic change. It really does. It really does. Because it's not like we have bad players, guys. We don't have bad, like, there are good players on this team. There are. Miles Sanders is a good player. Kenny Gainwell is a good player. Boston Scott is a good player. Boston Scott could probably be considered a really, really good player on some teams. Like he really could be, honestly, if you use him correctly. And Jordan Howard, like I'm gonna count Jordan Howard in that list because I believe he's gonna be called up tomorrow. You know, and then you have Devontae Smith and you have Quez Watkins developing. Like there are some good players on this team. They're not being used correctly. And the reason why they're not being used correctly is because they're not the scheme. Like it's either the scheme or they're not buying into what's going on, or like maybe they had a down week because of the Zach Ertz trade and that fucking sucks. But like, I don't know. Like this shit has been going on since the Super Bowl season. This shit has been going on since the Super Bowl season. Actually, no, I take that back. This shit has been going on since Nick Foles left. If you want to be completely honest with you, but it's too late for that. And yeah, I agree. So I agree with you, Big Plus. So you got to fire Howie Roseman. You have to fire Howie Roseman. The only thing is this, though. I don't believe that Jeffrey Lurie has the fucking balls anymore to do that. That's the only problem. I don't believe he has the balls anymore to do that. Big Play Slay says, Mitch, your sub to this channel. Didn't even know that. No, I think Big Play Slay. I think he just subbed. Tox Falcon says Jalen would definitely start for the Jets or Broncos. No, I don't think he would start for the Broncos. No, he wouldn't. He wouldn't start for the Broncos. No, Teddy Bridgewater would outplay Jalen Hurts in a heartbeat. Honestly, Teddy Bridgewater would outplay Jalen Hurts in a heartbeat. He really would. He really would. Jalen, yeah. No. Let's be perfectly fucking clear. Yeah, no. Jalen Hurts would not outplay Teddy Bridgewater. Would not happen. So there's that. And by the way, Jalen Hurts would not start for the Jets because they have Zach Wilson. Yes, Zach Wilson is injured, but that's why the Jets traded for Joe Flacco. I said that at the beginning of the stream, Toxic Falcons. King Miro says this team can kiss my sweet ass. All right. Yeah, I mean, look, frustration all around. Frustration all around for everybody. Frustration all around for everybody. Look, it comes down to this. This organization, this team, it's everybody's fault. It's not just one person. You can't put the blame. You can't put the finger on one person. Honestly, what you can really look at, if you want to look at it, is like the defense has given up 32 points per game over the last 5 games. That's what you can look at. I was afraid that the Raiders were going to score 50 points yesterday. And they could have. They totally could have. I mean, the Buccaneers could have scored 50. The Cowboys could have scored 50. The Chiefs could have scored 50. Like, I mean, like what the fuck? This team is down and in the gutter, and oh man. There is no quick fix. That's the problem. There is no quick fix. There is no there's nothing to do right now. There's nothing to do right now other than possibly start Gardner Minshew. That's the only thing to do right now. That is the only thing to do right now. I don't want to see Jalen Hurts anymore. I don't want to see Jalen Hurts anymore, guys. Like, I just don't. I just don't. Sorry, guys. I'm responding to a lady friend that I should have dated 10 years ago. Anyway, King Miro says I'm watching DK for now. Yeah, DK opened the game up with that 84-yard touchdown. No, I'm very well aware of how DK is doing in tonight's game. So thank you for reminding me of that we did not pick DK Metcalf and we took J.J. Arcega-Whiteside instead. So Toxic Falcon says the Eagles almost beat the Bucks, though. No. Toxic Falcons, they didn't. No, they didn't. Don't look at the final score, bro. Don't look at the final score and don't look at the final game. Like, don't look at the fourth quarter. Don't. Tom Brady and that offense took their foot off the gas. They took their foot off the gas, just like the Vegas Raiders did yesterday. They took their foot off the gas. That game should have been like 40 to whatever the fuck the Eagles had in that game. No. The last 5 games, the Eagles, you can say that the Eagles were blown. Do not look at the final score. Don't. Over the last 5 games. Don't. You can look at the opponent's score. Don't look at the Eagles score. It's bullshit. It's a mirage. It's an illusion. Do not look at it. Jalen Hurts is not the problem. Howie is. Jalen Hurts is the problem. Howie Roseman is the problem. Nick Sirianni is the problem. Jonathan Gannon is the problem. Jeffrey Lurie is the problem right now. Like, dude, everybody is to blame. Everybody is to fucking blame. Everyone. Everyone. I'm not gonna play this game where it's we only have to identify one problem. I'm not gonna do that. They are all problems. All of them. Every single one of them. All of them. Howie Roseman is the problem in the sense that Howie Roseman hired Nick Sirianni, and Howie Roseman is the one that traded away Carson Wentz. Nick Sirianni was hired before Carson Wentz got traded, so Nick Sirianni thought that he was going to have Carson Wentz to play on his team. Do you all remember that Carson Wentz and Nick Sirianni had a really, really good conversation before Carson Wentz got traded? The same type of thing that Nick Sirianni and Zach Ertz had. Zach Ertz and Nick Sirianni had a conversation, during the offseason as well. And Zach Ertz ended up staying, and Zach Ertz ended up playing and shit like that. But here's the thing. Carson Wentz fits the mold of a Nick Sirianni quarterback. We need, King Miro, you joined this chat a little bit late, but it's only fair to see what a different type of quarterback can do for Nick Sirianni before we pull the plug on Nick Sirianni. That's my belief. Like it's only fair to see a different type of quarterback in his system. The RPO is not his system. He wouldn't have run the RPO as much as he's running it with Jalen Hurts, with Joe Flacco. He wouldn't have done that. And I doubt that he would do it with Gardner Minshew. And we might just get that. We might just get Gardner Minshew this week because of the fact that they just traded Joe Flacco. There's reason to speculate that. There's a bit of dots that you can connect. It's true. But yeah, Howie Roseman completely continues to fuck this team up. He continues to fuck this team. And I just don't know what to say about it. King Miro says, so you gave up on Jalen, shaking my head. I'm close. Yeah. I don't want to, but I'm close. You give me a reason not to give up on Jalen, and I won't give up on Jalen. When you're throwing balls in the dirt, when you're overthrowing guys, when you're fumbling the ball on the goal line, when you're holding onto the ball too long, when you're not throwing the ball out, when you're supposed to throw the ball, that's not Nick Sirianni's problem. All those things I just listed, that's not Nick Sirianni. It's not. Give me a reason. Give me a reason to not give up on him. Give me a reason, and I'll think about it. I don't want to give up on Jalen Hurts. I like him. I've said it over and over again. I like Jalen Hurts. I like his leadership ability. The only thing is that ability does not extend to on the field until it's the fourth quarter, where the defense has already taken their foot off the gas. So please, King Miro says I'm sounding like Howie. How am I sounding like Howie? What? I'm sounding like Howie. No, I'm not going to trade Jalen. Now Jalen's still on a rookie contract. We're not going to trade him. The thing is this, King. The thing is this, is that I do not like fans like absolutely poaching Nick Sirianni. I don't. And the reason why I don't like it is because this dude did not choose his quarterback. Doug was able to choose his quarterback. Chip was able to choose his quarterback. Andy was able to choose his quarterback. Nick has not chosen his quarterback, and that is the difference. And maybe there's something to be looked at there. But that is the difference between this head coach and all the other fucking head coaches that Jeffrey Lurie has hired over the last 20 years. So keep that in mind. And I don't want them to trade Jalen. I just want to see what Gardner Minshew can do. I just want them to compete. That's the only thing. I want to see the differences. I'm ready for a comparison and contrast. That's what I'm ready for. Okay. I'm ready to see Jalen do better. I want Jalen to do better. I want it to be Jalen. Do you understand? I think that he fits I think his personality fits the city of Philadelphia very, very well. In fact, perfectly. And so I want Jalen to do better. But he's not doing better. He's not. And I'm sorry, but there's only my loyalty is to wins instead of or my loyalty is progression, not regression. He's regressing. But if you guys have any questions, please leave any comments or questions in the comment box below. We're just going to take a quick break right now. I plan on doing a pretty long stream tonight. So so I'm going to go ahead and take a quick break. This is DB Talking Now, DB Talking Birds, DB Talking Philadelphia Eagles. One love, everybody. I will be back soon. All right, welcome, guys. DB talking now, DB talking birds, DB talking Philadelphia Eagles. I am back. Let's go ahead and get back to talking. So, King Miro, I did want to know, why are you having a problem with me having issues with Jalen Hurts? You know what I mean? Why are you having problems with me having issues with Jalen Hurts? Jalen Hurts has not played well. He has not played well up to this point. He's been inaccurate. He was even inaccurate when we went ahead and lined him up behind center yesterday, which is something that the fans have been clamoring for. Did we run the ball better behind when the quarterback lined up behind center? Yeah, we did. But and did he make some good throws? Yeah, he did. But he does that usually. Like, he randomly makes good throws. He inconsistently makes good throws. And he's inconsistent just in general. So, what in your mind makes you think that I should continue to give him more time? Jalen Hurts me. What's up, my man? Welcome to the chat. You're late. You've missed all the good, fun stuff. But while we're waiting for King Miro to respond, let's talk about Zach Ertz, however, who, by the way, played his first game as an Arizona Cardinal and recorded his longest touchdown reception in his first game as an Arizona Cardinal. Wow. By the way, he looked fast. So for those who said that he couldn't get yards after catch, Zach Ertz looked fast on that 47-yard touchdown from Kyler Murray on Sunday. Jalen Hurts me says, Jalen Hurts literally hurts me. Get him out of here, bro. You might just get your wish. I don't know. I mean, I feel like the Joe Flacco trade means something a little bit more than just getting rid of a veteran quarterback. You know what the interesting thing is this? The interesting thing is this too, is like, he's the only one who had the ability to guide these younger quarterbacks. He's the only one who had the ability to guide these younger quarterbacks with experience. Like, that's the other thing. Like, who are they going to rely on now? That's a player outside of a coach. Who are they going to rely on? Who is Jalen going to rely on? That's older. That's seen it. That's like, if it is Jalen, usually Howie makes moves on Tuesdays. Howie makes big announcements on Tuesdays. So we'll see what the big announcement is tomorrow, if there is one. But we still have yet to have Jordan Howard get called up. And man, if they don't call up Jordan Howard, I swear to God, like, oy vey. I don't know what I'll do. I don't know what I'll do. They need to call up Jordan Howard. Jordan Howard needs to be called up. There should have been 4 running backs that made this roster in the first place. Plain and simple. There should have been 4 running backs that made this, and then it should have been Miles Sanders, it should have been Kenny Gainwell, it should have been Boston Scott, and it should have been Jordan Howard. And don't go blaming Nick Sirianni for that. I swear. Do not go blaming Nick Sirianni for that, because that was not a Nick Sirianni move. It was a Howie Roseman move. Remember, the roster comes down to Howie Roseman. The roster comes down to Howie Roseman. The Eagles absolutely got demolished today and looked like they should be 0-7. Or 0-7. And I cannot tell you how they're going to do against the Lions this week. Cannot tell you. I'm not, I don't have enough faith in this team to say that they can win any game for the rest of the season. I really don't. I really don't. I don't have enough faith to say that we're better than the Washington football team to beat them. I don't have enough faith to say that we're better than the New York Giants to say that we can beat them. I don't even have faith to say that we're better than the New York Jets enough to beat them. And I really don't. I really, really do not. Now I've taken a lot of shots. I've taken a lot of shots at Jalen Hurts throughout this stream. But I want to be honest. I want to be clear, and I want to make sure there's as much clarity as possible because I love being transparent with you guys. Transparency is key. I hold the same amount of shots for Nick Sirianni. I really do. I really do. But, I also think it is fair for him to have a different type of quarterback start for him than before we pull the plug. That doesn't mean that I'm giving him a break. That just means that the evaluation for a first-time head coach is different for a first-time starting quarterback. That's the only thing. That's the only thing I'm saying. But I will say this is like, why do you accept the penalty? Why do you accept a holding penalty when you have the opposing team on fourth down? Why? I don't know. I can't explain it. This team is a mess. There's a lot to go over. We're going to go over it a lot. I'm going to be streaming every single fucking day this week. Not just a couple days, not just a few days, but every single fucking day. Because the Eagles have hit rock bottom. And from here on out, they are hot news. Hot news. And if they lose to the Detroit Lions, it's going to be apocalyptic. If they lose to the Detroit Lions, it's going to be apocalyptic. But anyway, this is DB Talking now, DB Talking Birds, DB Talking Philadelphia Eagles. One love, guys. Thank you guys so much for joining in. I appreciate you all. Have a safe and healthy Monday night. And go Birds, baby.